Well, howdy folks, how's everybody doing out there? Getting ready to put our tail shaft here on our Turbo 350 here, but before we do that, I went ahead and dug out the speedometer case here, and along with our gear, and we have our retainer for it, and we have our bolt. Now I'm gonna have to, this transmission didn't have, it's got another retainer for this modulator that goes down here, so I'm gonna have to get online and find another retainer for it. It's a different retainer than that, but it's another retainer that goes sort of like that. It holds the modulator on there, but I'll have to order that because we're missing that. We were missing that to begin with when I bought this transmission. Thank goodness the valve was still in it. We got our modulator valve, which is right here, and I actually got the new modulator for it. And this is an adjustable one. It's got a little screw end down in here, if you can see that. But anyway, you can adjust that to firm the shift up a little bit, and of course it's comes with the new seal on it. And so it just installs just like that. But we'll have to put our valve in there, of course. But I gotta get that retainer and find that bolt for it. I think it's the same as this one. No, a little bit bigger. So I gotta get that retainer yet before we can put our modulator on there, unfortunately. But they're easy to get though. So that's our brand new modulator for it. I want to say that was on up there. I want to say it was about 30 bucks for that. Something like that. But last video here we put this clip on here, installed our speedometer gear, and getting ready to overhaul our speedometer case here. And it's really easy. It's only got one seal on it. I went ahead and I took a knife and cut it off. It's a seal that goes in this groove here. Went ahead and dipped it in some transmission fluid and let it soak a little bit. But to install it, you don't want to roll it, you just want to kind of push it on there. So we're just going to push it on here like such, and once you get it back to a certain point, you just pull it on back. It'll go right in the groove just like that. But try not to roll it. Don't roll it, it's not good. Make sure this groove right here is clean, because that's where this retainer goes to hold this on. This retainer actually sits in there like that. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and install that here. So to install that, we're going to take our gear here. This goes to our speedometer case. And I may have to change it if I change the gear ratio in the truck, but we'll figure that out after we put it in. This is a matching set, so you don't want to change this out and put a different tooth count with this gear right here on the back of the tail shaft. You want to make sure they're a matched set for whatever gear ratio and tire size you got. Just make sure they're a matched set for that. So for now, we're going to put it together the way it came apart, and then I'll probably end up taking the match set off the other Turbo 350 and putting on here, because it's real easy to do, to switch out. But we got this together now, and this basically, all this does is it rides as this tail shaft spins. It basically turns this. But I got transmission fluid, rubbed a little bit on it. I'm just going to push this in here like such. And a lot of times these are horrible about leaking, but a lot of times if they leak, it's this. What happens is this plastic tooth here, the gear here inside, will wear out, and then it lets transmission fluid leak. It's not quite down in there yet, so I'm just going to tap this down just really easy. Star pattern. Be easy with it, don't want to be hard. But now, as you can see, it's all the way down in there. Now we can just simply take our retainer right here, stick it up in this groove, just like that. Line it up with our bolt hole, just like that. Now we'll just install our bolt here. And that will be done. We'll have to get something to tighten this up, of course, but so now we got that installed. We got our bolt installed. We put a new seal on it, so now that's good to go. We'll check one more thing here. Of course, we got a new seal between our case here. It actually goes in this groove right in there. Got our governor cover on. Our governor's installed. Our governor cover, our clip. We got our new gear on. Well, new / old gear that was already in it. We'll put our clip back on that just snaps through. Got a new seal on this tail shaft here. We'll make sure this spins. Of course, it spins fine. So now we're ready to install it. Our bushing's good too, so we didn't change that out. In good shape. We'll take a little bit of transmission fluid and we'll smear around this new seal. That way, it doesn't cause any premature wear or anything. So we'll put a little transmission fluid around it, just like such. A little bit on our bushing down in here. Now we're ready to install it. Everything looks good. That blue was already in there when I cleaned it, so I just don't worry about it, left it alone. So we'll just slide this cover on and line it up. A little tiny piece of paint in there. There we go. So to slide this cover on, we got our 4 bolts here. They're all the same length. I think I mentioned that in the video. I've been making videos this thing on and off for the last 2 years, but they're all the same length. So we're going to install them and clean them up.